After days of briefings from top aides, U.S. officials have said options include stepping up airstrikes, sending ground forces to seize Iranian islands near the Strait of Hormuz, and bombing a fortified site that could be used for covert nuclear work. I would assume that's Pickaxe Mountain. So, as the Iranians say, come closer, right? This is not going to go well. You guys heard the news this week that Israel was blocking the United States from hosting any more air refueling tankers than it already has at the Ben Gurion airport. If you didn't see it, I mean, you can look here. Trump administration, let's take a look at this one. After an operational assessment following senior IDF and political orders, Israel's Minister of Transportation has revoked permission for U.S. military aircraft to land at Ben Gurion International Airport. Me personally, I think their beef with Trump right now stems from this. Trump administration does not want Israel involved in U.S. strikes on Iran. Two Israeli sources tell CNN. One source said Netanyahu would really want to join the U.S. strikes, but the U.S. has made clear Israel's participation is unwanted at this stage. The prevailing Israeli assessment is that Trump does not want to return to full-scale war. The most he may be willing to do is reinstate a naval blockade on Iranian ports. Now, this is just so crazy because, I mean, there's so many layers to this. Obviously, Netanyahu wants the war to ramp up, full scale by October because he's got some elections coming up in October, and Netanyahu is not the most beloved figure in Israeli politics right now. Could he squeak out a win? Could he form a coalition? Probably, but would he rather just have full-scale war take place so he can say, hey, look, we're going to have to postpone these elections, you guys, pulling a Zelensky? Yeah, I think he'd probably rather go for the latter. Now, Trump, I mean, everything kind of seems to me as though we are headed toward a full-scale war. I can't imagine that Trump really would want Israel to be all involved at this moment. I mean, he is stupid enough to think that by bombing Iran more and bombing a children's cancer hospital, he's going to pressure Iran back to the negotiating table. But Netanyahu, on the flip side, shouldn't he just be thankful? This is his life's goal, mission, all wrapped up in a pretty nice pink bow delivered to him on a silver platter. Netanyahu, he gets a U.S. president to start war on Iran. And yes, it's not full out war yet. But right now, Israel doesn't even have to do anything. They don't have to do a damn thing right now. And they're not even getting hit right now. And the U.S. is at war with Iran. They crafted this so perfectly. The U.S. is literally fighting Israel's dream war. And Israel doesn't have to lift a finger right now. And Netanyahu's still not content with that. Okay. So there's a lot of layers to this. And I think Netanyahu does want to get re-involved in this. I think they do want to recontinue these strikes. I think they want to be active once more. They want this to spiral even further into all-out war. And part of that is because of, he feels like he can contribute to the cause. He feels like he's going to be more terroristic and depraved. He's got elections coming up. He's got the trial. He's got all this stuff and more, right? So he really wants this. There were already up to 20 American tankers present at Ben Gurion Airport in Israel. But again, they said, we're not going to let you land anymore. The U.S. was outraged at Israel after American refueling planes no longer allowed to land at Ben Gurion Airport. CENTCOM said that they were, this was unjustified, and IDF leadership apparently agreed, but that did not move the needle. Until what? Until Clavicular ended his Israel stream, and Netanyahu realized that there would be no gym stream with Clavicular, and that Tel Aviv was not about to become the hotspot of tourism for Gen Z and millennials alike anytime soon. So they said, okay, screw it. And keep in mind, the whole reasoning behind this was if they start landing a bunch more air refueling tankers, they're going to have to cancel 50,000 plane tickets for tourists that are coming to Israel. Who the hell is coming to Israel? Maybe this was all some marketing push. Clavicular's in Israel doing these Zio propaganda videos and live streams right now. And then Netanyahu's like, we've got 50,000 tickets we need to sell today because the U.S. is breathing down our neck trying to land these air refueling tankers. Come get your discounted tickets to Tel Aviv and see the land yourself. And then none of it worked. And they're like, all right, fuck it. Come land the air refueling tankers. We're going back to war. The drama unfolded fast. The U.S. had moved the aircraft to Israel to protect them from Iranian strikes. 2 days ago, Israel tried to restrict them at Ben Gurion to protect civilian flights. And now Israel has folded, removing its ban on U.S. refueling aircraft after a sharp standoff with Washington. And the reason won't surprise you. U.S. notifies Israel that it is going to be sending dozens more refueling planes to the country ahead of a potential expansion of military operations against Iran. The United States has already deployed a significant number of these air refueling tankers toward the Mediterranean and Middle East. Flight tracking data shows multiple KC-135R and KC-135T Strato tankers departing U.S. Air Force bases across Europe, including Spangdahlem and Bitburg, and transiting south through the Mediterranean. Tankers are among the clearest indicators of preparations for sustained air operations. The Trump administration has notified Israel that this is the plan. Details include a massive offensive in Iran. Among the options being considered are bombing Iranian infrastructure facilities like power plants and nuclear sites. President Trump could order the escalation in the coming days. Brent oil prices have already surged to $88 on the barrel after this news. And we have even further icing on the cake. Wall Street Journal. U.S. officials tell Wall Street Journal Trump is considering expanding operations, including seizing Iranian. From the Wall Street Journal, President Trump is leaning toward expanding U.S. operations in Iran after days of briefings from top aides, U.S. officials have said. Options include stepping up airstrikes, sending ground forces to seize Iranian islands near the Strait of Hormuz, and bombing a fortified site that could be used for covert nuclear work. I would assume that's Pickaxe Mountain. So, as the Iranians say, come closer, right? This is not going to go well. Trump is out of his mind right now. And, you know, these people are saying, like, oh, J.D. Vance would never do this. I saw Tucker say that. It's like, well, has he formalized, like, any criticism? You know, okay, put it this way. Tucker, say you're the vice president of the United States and your president does this. Do you stay silent and do the dirty work, or do you resign? Seems like a simple answer. To me, you, of course, would have to resign. But Trump doing all this, everyone staying silent. Tulsi resigned way too late. Joe Kent resigned. I guess you could say he was the first to resign, so any time is appropriate for that and is welcomed. But I have no sympathy. I have no trust for anyone who is still in that administration. And I'll never trust them again. And I'll never have any sympathy for them at any point in their lives. Because if you're a part of this, you're doing the work of demons. You are fighting a war against the people of God, and you are actually terrorists. Just as simple as that. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.